CNT125, Chapter 8, we're going to look at subnetting a Class A network. What you're going to find in this one, when we did C, we were just focusing on the last octet. When we did B, we were focusing on the last two octets. On a Class A, we'll need to focus on the last three octets. The process is going to be identical, but we just have a little bit more record keeping. That's it. The process is going to be the exact same thing we did before, but we just have a little bit more record keeping because we have three octets to keep straight. That's it. That's the only real difference. Again, remember, all zeros in the host portion is a network number. All ones in the host portion is broadcast address. A mixture of ones and zeros in the host portion is a usable IP. Okay, and again, we're trying to get a chart with the usable IPs because those are the ones we're going to use to assign to router switches, nodes, access points, printers, etc. All right. So let's take a Class A network. We have a 50,000 network. They told us we need 50 subnets. So to get 50 subnets, we need to borrow at least 6 bits to get the job done. So to borrow 6 bits, okay, I'm going to borrow 6 bits. 2 to the 6 bits is going to give me 64 subnets. Okay, cool. So we definitely have enough subnets to get the job done. When I do that, okay, I'm going to come down here. Here's my 6 bits borrowed. I'm now left with 16, 17, 18 bits. I'm left with 18 bits in the host portion. So 2 to the 18 is going to give me 262, 144 addresses per subnet, of which 262, 142 are usable. Okay, that would be a number maybe I double check. Is that enough usable? I would hope so. So I'm going to take this and represent it. There's my original 255. Here's my 6 bits borrowed right here. Oops. Here's my 6 bits borrowed. So 255, convert this octet into decimal, 252.0.0. There is my subnet mask in decimal. If I count up my bits, 8 plus 6 is going to give me my 14. /14 is my bit count for my subnet mask, my CIDR notation. Alright, now that I have that, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm looking at this second octet this time, and I'm looking at the interesting bit. 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4. So that's the 4 place value. So my subnets are going to go up by a factor of 4. Okay. So again, I'm just going to focus on the second octet to get things started. So right here, focusing on the second octet, I'm going to do the same thing I did before to get the ball rolling, and then I will worry about the other octet. So I'm just going to focus on this octet right there. So 0 is the first one, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and again this is going to continue going up because I have 64 of these things. So I have quite a few. I'm just showing the first few rows, if you will. So there's my network, my subnet ID. There's my first column. Well, if this one starts at 0 and this one starts at 4, this has to end at 3, doesn't it? So I'll come over here and I will pop the 3 in. So 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, 12 to 15, and so forth. All right, same thing we did before. Now we're going to take and tag on these 2 host octets. We have 2 host octets to deal with. So I use my rule. My network number is all zeros in the host portion. So that's 0 to 0. All zeros in the host portion, that's 0 to 0. All host zeros in the host portion, that's 0 to 0. So this column just becomes 400, 800, 1200, 1600, 2000, and so forth. Okay? To do my broadcast, all ones in the host portion, while I have these 2 octets, I'm going to set these 2 octets to all ones. When I do that, I'm going to get 255.255. So 3.255.255, 7.255.255, 11.255.255. Okay? That's all ones in the host portion. To get my usables, I'm going to do one more, one less, just like I did before. So this one right here, 000, one more would be, again, think of an odometer, far right column, 001. This one right here becomes 401. This one right here becomes 801. And to get the other end of my range, I go one less from here. 3.255.255. Again, if I were going to drive backwards, don't do that. It's a joke. It doesn't work. But, if I were to drive backwards a mile, this would go down by 1. It would decrement by 1. So 3.255.254. You notice this in the far right column. I didn't do it here. I did it here on the far right column. 3.255.254. 7.255.254. Okay. Now I have the usables for each subnet. That's it. That's all I need to do for my Class A. Again, I was just working on the last 3 octets. If I use an application, it's going to show me all 4 octets. So 50.0.0.0, 50.4.0.0, 50.8.0.0, 50.12.0.0, and so forth. And then up here in the usables, 50.0.0.1, 50.4.0.1, 50.8.0.1, and so forth. Okay? And that's what a Class A looks like. That's all it's to it. It's the same process, just having to do a little bit of extra record keeping. I did the same process. I started with 0, 3, come back, add the extra octets, all zeros, come back and add all the extra octets, ones, then one more, one less. That's all I need to do. But it is good record keeping to get the job done. And then I would have a chart to use for pulling my IP addresses out to start assigning to different nodes on different parts of my network that are going to be different subnets. Great, there is subnetting a Class A.